Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hi there, how are you? Casey here, hope you're well. I'm so sorry that I'm in a tank top. I'm just gonna apologize ahead of time. How are you? Welcome. If you are getting here and you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. And I'm sorry I am wearing a tank top, but it's hot in LA as usual, and even during the November time. So if you're getting here now, just let me know. I'm gonna bring this sucker down here so you guys can see me a bit better. Okay, welcome everyone. How are you? Good to see those who are my repeat peeps, and for those who are new, if you're someone brand spanking new to one of my Periscopes, put in the chat teach, and if you've been here before, put in the chat learning. It's cold in France, enjoy. Yeah, it's definitely not cold here. It is warm, warm, warm here. Happy Sunday, Casey. Tamika, what's up, Tamika? And yeah, put your name and where you're from in the world. I'd love to be able to see that, because oftentimes I can't necessarily see it. Sometimes your Twitter names are different than your actual names. So teach, okay, excellent. So I have some new folks here. And again, as I said, put teach if this is your first time, and if you've been here before, put learning, okay? And yes, you can, of course, share with your friends and followers and fans. If you know that, what I do is essentially, I can track all the engagement, and of course, I give away a free book to my most engaged person who shares the most, stays the longest, comments the most, takes screenshots and all sorts of other stuff. I always give you something by the end. So just just to put that out there right away, and if you've never followed me, you can follow me right here. Okay, so I will start off by saying this particular topic that we're going to be discussing is truth, okay? It is truth, and it is it's something that a lot of us hide from. Becca, what's happening? Good to see you. A lot of us hide from this. A lot of us we maybe hear about it or we don't hear about it, and then we see some of the realities, I'm going to be talking about that. Some of these are glaring realities that happen only when you've been doing this for a long time do you start recognizing this. So for those who have never been here before, my name is Casey Zeman. I am the founder of a software called Fullscope.tv. It's a marketing and analytics software that's designed to work with Periscope so that you know who your most engaged viewers are, how to make your broadcast better based on that information. You can also message them back, tweet them back, and of course, that's the whole marketing element of it. Fullscope.tv. I'm also the founder of a software called Easy Webinar. Has over 5,500 customers, and it is a webinar platform, essentially. Hey, Andrew, what's going on? Do I see two people with you? It's Andrew. Okay, no, I see that. That's one account. Okay, gotcha. So, so anyway, I'm no stranger to software. So what I tend to do is I create software designed to help people market their business using the power of live stream technology and webinars, which of course create this know, like, and trust, and that's why I absolutely love it. Plus, I create also training, and I do Periscopes all about these topics. So I talk about launching your products using webinars and Periscope and things like that. So that's what I talk about. This particular topic is something that might be of interest to you, might be of interest to your followers, so please do share this out. You can tweet this to your friends and followers and fans. Let them know that we're going to be talking about a sensitive topic, a topic that needs to be talked about because of the fact that it's a reality and a truth that happens in the marketplace, okay? It happens with, with people that that are perceived as experts, but how do they get to that point? How do they get to that expertise is the actual topic of discussion. And how, based on that, we at Full Scope have to make sure that we gauge the engagement factors appropriately. Instead of, say, giving all the energy to hearts as the main engagement, we have to switch that. Are you starting? I'm so sorry. I didn't even read that. I'm so bad. But put that back in there again if you can. So here's the deal. I just learned about this just recently, that people can buy hearts. Okay, people, and actually, Andrew, you were one of the first people that told me. Andrew, who just popped in here, you guys can follow him. I never knew that people could actually buy hearts on Periscope. Hearts aren't the only or best engagement. Yes, so true, and I've realized that over time, that they do not equate pure engagement, because there are a lot of people that seem to dupe the system. They dupe the system. They can buy hearts. They can also go into their replays and click on the hearts and just give themselves hearts. Now, I'm not going to throw stones because I feel like all of us have been in a position where hi, are you into nutrition? I do like nutrition, yes. Good stuff. Just started a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to throw stones because, a lot of us, we just don't have the knowledge when we're first starting out of how to do best practices of how to do this right, the right way. Okay, and that's not your fault. Okay, I don't blame you, but the idea is that if you start doing something like that, you're going to get into a trap, right? People give themselves hearts. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. People can actually give themselves hearts. Now, the idea behind all this, go read about it on scopecast.tv, how the heart buying is started. Yeah, and I really feel that once you go down that path, it's hard to come back from it. And again, as I said, it's not your fault. Many people don't realize that that's not the direction they need to be taking. But they do it because they want to become instant experts or they want to be perceived as experts. And this is who unwillingly caused the issue. Yeah, it's Periscope, right. They don't have a crackdown on it, and that's probably one of the biggest issues behind it, because people that are providing good quality value, you see these people as some of the people that are actually buying hearts, which is pretty crazy. Now, I have to say, I've never bought hearts. I actually didn't even know you could buy hearts, and that's that. So ignorance is bliss in this regard. But with all that in mind, I think the idea is that never heard of this. Yeah, you can buy hearts. It's insane. And that's why, so it was a Turkish hacker trying to get Periscope to change their loophole, but Periscope won't. I see. I just beg for them, LOL. Yeah, right. Yeah, beg for hearts instead of actually doing it yourself. Right. Yeah, I get it. And that's totally right. So what we've done at Fullscope is we are not putting a lot of emphasis on the hearts. Hey, Jason, what's going on? Good to see you. Leslie, I see Kathy is here. What's happening, everyone? Good to see everybody coming in. Thank you guys for sharing to your people as well. I really appreciate it. I earn all of my hearts 300K. That's amazing. Begging is the worst. Yeah. So it's really interesting, when we start looking at this, and as such, Full Scope, we've made it our mission to not necessarily focus on the hearts until something can be changed in Periscope. Until Periscope has the ability, Casey, the system's been amazing. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I think it's Rhonda. Thank you so much. Yeah, until Periscope has the ability to really get crystal clear on being able to recognize true hearts versus not real hearts. And the thing is, with Full Scope, we can actually see when the hearts are fake, because normally they're all it's a specific number, and it's a specific number across a few fake accounts, and inside those accounts, it's usually on the replay. So we can always go in with Full Scope and look at the replay and see all that. I'm really new here that folks bought hearts. Casey, I have no clue and was wondering why. Well, that's the thing. Here's the deal. People buy hearts because they want to be perceived as an expert, and they are whether it's being desperate for it or whether they understand that by busted TV, fullscope.tv can bust you. Yeah, they understand that by having more hearts, they can hopefully get found in the most loved section of Periscope. Which Periscope, I think, is going to be changing that around because they realize the issue, the flaw there. Right? It's attention seeking. Exactly. So. What I really didn't realize, though, is that you have top Periscopers who are doing this. I actually had no idea that some of the top Periscopers, some of the people that you follow, are actually doing this. And it's just it's as I said, I cannot throw stones because, listen, when I first started out, I did something with my Facebook fan page. I mean, when I first started out, I was like, how do I get more people to engage and like my fan page? So I started paying for ads with Facebook, and you could do this. Facebook ads are great for engagement. But what I started doing, and this is just me just knowing what's going on with this, right? Back in the day, I was like, you know what? I started seeing that some people, and this is just me learning from the wrong people, some people were teaching that I could get more engagement and pay less traffic by getting people from Venezuela and different other countries to like my channel. Well, here's the problem. When you buy engagement from people that are not necessarily in that same spectrum of being interested in what you're doing and selling and communicating, they're not going to be engaged. So I learned the hard way by doing that back in the day where then that Facebook channel, that Facebook page has no engagement. Yes, it has hearts or likes, but it has no engagement. I realized that. I realized I learned that from the wrong person. And unfortunately, some of us have to go through that. We have to go through this, like, whatever it is, it's like this growing pain where we know who to follow and who not to follow. I figured it out. I figured out that the best way to get engagement is organic engagement. Paid traffic, yes, but with the right people. You can pay for Facebook ads, but make sure they're people that genuinely want to follow you. Pay higher prices for those ads for the right type of people. And, you know, it's just like, you just realize that after time. Now, I see a lot of good questions and comments coming through, you guys. I love that you're actually communicating to yourselves about it because I want to be able to follow it too. And, you know, it's amazing what you realize over time, what people are doing. And as I said, I can't fault them because I've been in that same boat and I figured it out. You know, I figured out what to do and what not to do. So if you're here and before you go and find you know, start going down a path of learning from somebody, make sure they're making a declaration to you that they're not going to be doing something like that. They don't teach it. Make sure they don't teach it. If you go and buy something from someone, make sure in the back you don't see that they have like a, hey, what do you want to do to get, you know, on the most loved is you buy hearts. That will get you in the most loved and then you'll get engagement, right? It's really about how you want to do things ethically. What's the point having bazillion hearts and the most loved when only 50 people are watching? It's really true. It's exactly true. Oftentimes you don't see that level of engagement. And it's really remarkable to me that it's the people that we know, that we like and we trust. And, you know, it's because they did anything that they could to get to that point. You can really buy hearts. Yes, apparently you can. I don't know where you can buy hearts. And I think that there's some software that will actually do automated hearts. But that because I think there are sites out there where you can. Someone pointed me to a Twitter page at one point where it showed the people that were buying hearts. It was crazy that I saw that. It was crazy that that's what is going on. That's happening. Don'tbuyfakehearts.com. Is that what it is? Mr. A. By the way, I love your stuff, and Jason as well. Saw a replay of 50 people, heart count increases. Yeah, you count fake hearts, you get banned. Yeah, I mean, I think Periscope is cracking down on this a bit more. Casey, hi, yes, Casey, there's a site I've seen that will do this. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I've seen it before for sure, and I just can't remember what it is. But if you go and you type in, you know, fake hearts or something like that in Twitter, hashtag fake hearts, you probably will be able to find it out there. So it's remarkable that this is obviously something that can happen. Name and shame, Casey. Name and shame. Tell us who they are. I can't do that. I can't do that because that's not how I roll. I can't do that. I want you guys to discover it yourself. I'm not going to say who they are and who they're not because it's people that you probably already know. And again, just look for it out there. You'll see it. It's amazing. I'm just saying to you, I've never bought hearts, and I didn't even realize you could buy hearts. And, you know, because I've made that mistake in my past, I don't do it for the future, okay? As an FYI. And we all do this. It happens to all of us. We all go through these points where we're like, man, I made a stupid freaking mistake, right? And that's what happens. And I'm just like anyone else who gets trapped in something like that because I'm starting out, I'm brand new, I'm just trying to figure out how to get more engagement, right? And it's just not the right way to go. So for those of you who been thinking about doing that or been thinking about, paying low price ads for Facebook to get more engagement on your page, try not to do that. I know it's tough, but try to pay for top quality engagement. Get the right people that you are getting your ads in front of. Like when I do ads now, I make sure they're served in front of authors and experts that are quality, right? And yes, it costs me sometimes $5 per conversion, but at the end of the day, it's a better lead, and I get more engagement on my pages because of that. I'd rather have 3 followers watching. Yes, exactly. Preach it, Casey. Yeah. Again, and here's I'll say this too. Experimenting is okay. I get it. You always want to try to figure out what's working, what's not. It's totally makes sense. How far will 200 go on Facebook? That's a good question. It depends on your niche. I'll say that. It really depends on your niche. People buy hearts. Yeah, people are buying hearts. That's the thing that is miraculous. And for those who are just getting here, people are buying hearts, and oftentimes it's the people that you follow, that you know, like, and trust. And it's a pretty, it's a thing that people can get caught in. But the idea is that I want to let you know, don't do it. I'm just saying to you, if you've been thinking about it, if you just don't do it. It's going to cause you hurt and frustration and issues along the way. How much do you usually spend on Facebook marketing? I spend a boatload of money on Facebook every single month. Probably 5,000. I guess what is a boatload of money? $5,000 a month on Facebook ads. Is that a lot? That's how much I spend normally on Facebook ads. And I get thousands of leads coming in, and send them into my automated webinar, or send them into my webinarminicourse.com site. And that's kind of how I have a lead generation tool. That's how I generate most of my leads. Some leads come from Periscope. Of course, we have fullscope.tv, which is generating a lot of course, users. So there's a couple different places where I do that. But paid advertisement is probably the best ways to do it. But make sure they're quality leads, because otherwise you don't want to have crap leads. How's the ROI? Pretty good. In fact, actually, on my automated webinars, I get a much higher ROI than I do in my mini course, which is interesting. And that's, of course, from testing, I've figured out that getting people into a webinar, and I use Easy Webinar to do it, getting people into a webinar is better than actually just going in the webinar mini, or the mini course. How do you figure out a scoper has fake hearts? So again, the way you can figure out if a scoper has fake hearts is, I believe, this. If you go into their replay and you see that there are several accounts that have the same number of hearts, and they're in the thousands, and they're specific numbers like 5,272, and the other person has 5,272, and the other person has 5,272, that's how you can realize that someone is duping. They have kind of an automated thing going on. Who wants fake hearts? That's crazy. I know, Jen. That is crazy. It is crazy. Do not buy hearts or followers. Waste of. And so this is why, back to fullscope.tv. This is why with our fullscope.tv analytic program and marketing software, we don't give hearts the top priority in terms of engagement. We don't recognize it as the top engagement. Hey, listen, I love that you guys are sending me hearts. You are all amazing. Thank you. But it's not the end all be all for engagement. In fact, for us, it's the fourth down in engagement. The first one is shares and screen shares. The next one we like to do. Amazon is cracking down and suing fake book reviewers too. Yeah, I get it, because Fiverr is awesome, but Fiverr has caused so many issues like this. Who else has used Fiverr for whatever? Well, Fiverr, you can do literally anything on Fiverr, and that's the problem, right? And Fiverr needs to kind of crack down on that too, who they allow in their marketplace, I think, right? So, yeah, exactly. So, the first level of engagement, as I said, is shares, screen shares. Okay, that's the second. Comments, that's the third. And then we have length of time. Actually, length of time in comments. That length of time a viewer is at your scope, how long they stay, okay? That's a big one, because you would rather have someone stay 100% of the time than send, 300 hearts or 1,000 hearts over like 2 minutes, because that means they're just hearting along, playing around, doing something else. They're not actually paying attention, and that's the thing. You want someone to be focused. Shailene Johnson oftentimes says this, is that she would rather you be taking notes than hearting, okay? And that's the thing. That's why hearts don't equivocate engagement. Our brand for campaigns, not views. Yes, views and interactive, exactly. It's more about, and for those questions and comments I'm missing, I'll be going back into full scope and looking at you guys. And remember, those who are the most engaged, I'm going to be going back and I'm going to give Lewis Howes's book, School of Greatness, out to my most engaged person on this particular Periscope. I can go back into fullscope.tv and see who did all that. So anyway, how long someone stays and then hearts. Hearts are at the end. Hearts are at the very, very end. But there is still a level of engagement because obviously, they're a barometer to a degree. You're using Twitter app. Yeah, we use Twitter. When you're using Full Scope, for those who just wanted to know about that, you would go to fullscope.tv. We've added a login on the front page for those existing users. But if you've never been there, you can also click on that login. It will take you to a Twitter authorization. Then from there, you're going to go into the software, and then what you have to do is run a scope after you sign up, and then that data will be pulled in. Love Full Scope for evidence on cyber stalkers. Yeah, we have the ability. That's the thing about it. We have the ability to be able to see if there's something unnatural happening with the hearts, because we have all that data. It's proprietary data that's protected with you guys. It's all of your data protected. But at the same time, we can see when there's unnatural or maybe same number of hearts being sent to any specific person. Okay, I got my Full Scope report today. So cool, awesome, Leslie. Yes, we started sending out reports to people after a broadcast. We'll send an email to you saying, "Hey, your broadcast is ready." Now we may pull that back a bit because that's an experiment. We're trying to determine. We don't want to inundate you with email. We're trying to really get that cleared. Really get that. Honed in. So we don't want to give you multiple emails, keep getting multiple emails. Yes, exactly. We don't want to do that, so we're probably going to pull that back. Okay, it's all about experimentation. The idea behind giving you notifications is we just wanted to make sure that you get notified. But what we might do is do one daily report. If you are someone who runs multiple Periscopes a day, what we'll maybe do is create one a day. Okay, now you maybe have the ability to do one a week as well. Are you on catch? Your information is great. I need to keep this information. Yes. Yes, I am. I've been asking if Full Scope will be paid in the future. Yes. So with that in mind, thank you, Jason, for saying that. Yes. Right now, Full Scope, right now we're in beta. As such, you guys, Full Scope is free for you right now. Full Scope is free when you come through while we're in beta. Now, when are we going to be done with beta? We're not quite sure because this is what we're doing. We're of course experimenting, we're getting the features and the benefits that you're looking for. We're talking to you in our Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group at Full Scope at facebook.com/groups/fullscope.tv. It's a Facebook group. It's not private. It's actually open at the moment. You come in there, we ask you what you want because that's how we're building it. We want to get the most information from you. So it is not paid at this point. You don't have to pay for it, but we are going to charge for it later on. Those who come in will not have to pay for it later on. The level that you're coming in at, you will not have to pay when we start charging in the future. Does this make sense? We would never do that. That's absolutely ridiculous. Christy, no, I haven't. It's not in the market yet. So no, I actually haven't. Teal Dude, talk about something you were passionate about. Yes, awesome. So can you rehash? Yes, let me rehash. Okay, I'll rehash. Jason, to answer your question, there is going to be an opportunity for all of you who are in here now to be able to increase and go to a more premium level, which is going to have even more stuff, and we're building that out right now. It's going to have email integration. It's going to have some ad platform stuff that you guys can really do. You're going to love it, and it's it's optional for you to do if you want. You're not going to be required to pay for it. Okay, so here's what we're talking about. Here is what we're talking about. We're talking about buying hearts. It is something that has been done. It is being done now with Periscope, people that are going through and buying hearts. Now, here's the thing about it. Buying hearts is obviously the wrong way to go. When you buy hearts, you have lack of engagement, and of course, you're duping the system and you're duping your audience. So don't do it. If I have to say anything, don't buy hearts. That's the thing that we were talking about. And some of the most influential, I'd say, Periscopers have bought hearts, and so it's amazing to kind of see that. Some people that you follow have actually done that. So you want to do your due diligence before you buy anything from anyone. Okay, out there. So that's just an FYI. I've never bought hearts before, but I also talked about engagement is what Periscope is all about. Wow, I think there's worse things to worry about. I'm not sure. You are duping yourself. Yeah, exactly. Engagement will come. And here's the thing, I talked about this already. When I first started out, I went and bought a product that taught me that I should buy Facebook ads from people in Venezuela because it was cheap advertising. It was cheap. I could only pay like a 1 cent for getting like likes, right? And I was stupid. I didn't know any better, and I bought the course and I started doing it. And that was one of the worst mistakes I made socially in my social media marketing, because of the fact that when I did it, I had likes at that point, but I had absolutely no engagement. And that was my first experience with understanding this is not the way to go. This is definitely not the way to go. You're going to want to try to build engagement from the ground up, build it and be authentic with it. You don't need to have 1,000 gazillion hearts or 1,000 likes for people to see you as quality. Teach what you know. You don't have to teach what you don't know. You don't have to try to make yourself, overexposed more than what you are, or overblown up more than what you are. Just teach what you know, because the people that will follow you are the ones that know less than you. Okay, teach what you know, and also find results for people, even the smallest, minute results. You don't have to make up results, okay? And then some people do that. Unfortunately, some people make up results. They make up things, and unfortunately, at the end of the day, it shows, because then you don't get a result when you're using whatever system they've created for you and things like that. So just go at it from your own pace. Everything will work out. Just trust me. Start learning, apply what you learn, and find someone you can help that will then you can apply what you learn to for that person, and then go from there. Okay? That's really what it's all about. Okay? You guys rock. I love it. We hit over 100. So thank you so much. I'm going to take a screenshot, okay? And I hope I don't remove it. Hey! There we go. Took a screenshot. So thank you all so much. I'd love to. What kind of questions do you have about this? How many of you are in fullscope.tv, which of course is a tool that will help you with your marketing, help you with understanding the analytics. Is it okay to give myself hearts from a different account? Oh, well, that's okay. No, I mean, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of this, is that it's kind of, you're duping people. That's the problem. It's not going to be good for you. I'm telling you. I've done it. I'm not squeaky clean. I've gone through this process of trying to get up there, get to that point faster. And unfortunately, it doesn't work. You have to think outside the box in a smarter, different way, while still staying authentic and staying clear of those practices, because those practices are kind of what are called black hat practices. Try to stay white hat and just think smart. So instead of going out and creating hearts, create partnerships with people where you guys are kind of at a similar point, and share each other's value, share each other's posts, share each other's periscopes. That's a better way to do it. That's a much better way to do it than just buying hearts, okay? There are good ways to do this. There are good ways not to do this. Try to stay on the good way, and I know sometimes it's hard. As I said, I've done it the wrong way, and I learned myself. Okay, I think that's the only way. Sometimes all we're going to do is learn by trial and error, and that's what I did. I learned by trial and error. Girl fight, no, fake accounts are not okay. That's the problem, unethical. Everyone has a right to run their biz with terms of service. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you want to run your business however you want to run it, that's fine. But just realize the people that you're going to attract are going to be the same type of people as you if you're buying hearts. And that means that they are probably not people that are committed to staying with you. They're transient, okay? They're moving from one thing to another. They're coming at it from a scarcity mentality. And if that's the audience that you want, that's the audience you want, that's fine. But that's not the way I'm going to run what I do. And I just know that many of you guys don't want to run your business that way. Sometimes you feel like you have to. Sometimes you feel like, oh, the only way I'm going to get above this other person is by buying hearts, or by, trying to figure out how to pay for cheap ads on Facebook. But I can tell you with just my own experience that is not the case. That's living in that fear. And trust me, I know that you think about it and you think, well, should I live in that fear, or should I just try to stay on the path and trust that it's going to be okay? Trust that it's going to be okay. Seriously, no one wants transients. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. No one wants transients. I'm going to concentrate on shares now. Yeah, concentrate on shares. That's the best way to do it. You can't buy shares. I mean, you probably could if you figured out how to. No, just don't. But concentrate on, concentrate on creating a clear, concise call to action in your scopes. The top YouTubers aren't there from buying subscribers. Exactly. Casey, I'm giving you real hearts right now. Thank you. How often should someone scope? Well, it's a great question, LinkedIn Ninja. I think it depends on how often you want to provide value. I think if you feel like you have one good scope a day where you're providing good value, or maybe you have 2 a day or 3 a day, that's cool. Sometimes you only want to do once or twice a week. That's cool. So I think, yeah, thank you. Frequency, value, and edutainment. So it's like education and entertainment at the same time, right? Combined. Those are the 2 best things to do. If you have something that's entertaining while at the same time engaging and teaching something, right? It has education and an entertainment combined. That's the secret sauce to YouTubers who do really well. Same applies here in Periscope. Any type of live stream works the same way. So I think it's up to you. Do not dilute your shares. You lose followers. Only share who you really want to promote. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point too. If you share too often, some people will say, well, this person shares all the time. I'm not going to come to it. So, make sure you're deciding when you want to share good quality content. And here's the thing, if you always try to figure out what kind of content is quality content, well, start asking your audience what they want. What are their biggest pain points? And then from there, start creating broadcasts that are about those pain points. Maybe even topics of discussion. Maybe even controversial topics. Like this is a very controversial topic. There is a crazy 40-second delay between when I ask and when you answer. Curious. Not sure. No, I just got this though. I think it's probably that I'm not seeing all of them. So I apologize if I'm not seeing all of them. Great tip. Topics of discussion. Jen Urban Willis says, I rarely share. Awesome, Jen. Yeah, some share 20 plus times a day, little overshare. Yeah, good point. Yes, I have several options to sort. I like a little controversy. Controversy is what Julia said. Yeah. Shares overwhelming. Yeah, this has been a really good discussion. Many people have some great ideas. Yeah. Okay, probably because there's a lot of commenting, and that's exactly right. Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah, your phone goes off all day long from shares. So I think that we've covered a couple great things. Here let's recap. Number 1, try to not buy hearts, okay? If you see someone selling hearts to you, or if you see something, if you start to feel like you need to do that, I want you to dig deep and say to yourself, it's going to be okay. I don't need to go that direction in order for my business to thrive, in order for me to find more engagement. I can build relationships with other people who can help me, and we can both build our businesses together. Okay. Number 2, if you are going to start doing Periscope, make sure you have a clear, concise call to action in your scopes. All right. And in that, you can ask for shares, you can ask for hearts in the scope. But what you can oftentimes do is say, listen, if this is something that's helpful to you, send some hearts my way. Also, if this is something that might be helpful to your friends and followers and fans, please share. So the other thing we've talked about is don't overshare, or if you're someone who's watching broadcasts, don't overshare. Share the stuff that you really like. I think that's some good stuff, right? Those 3 points there alone, I think, are awesome. And of course, number 4, if you want to look at it like this, is that fullscope.tv. We can tell when someone does fake hearts. Okay, so what my suggestion is, if you're looking to try to market to people and get an understanding of your analytics and your engagement, get fullscope.tv, which is free, and you'll be able to finally see what broadcasts are doing better. I'm going to be going in now, and I can actually probably go into my Fullscope account and see in real time that this one is performing on a higher level of engagement because of the fact that it has a little controversy. It's a topic of discussion based around Periscope, and we of course have a software that works with Periscope as a analytic and marketing tool. So I'll be able to look and say, well, this was the most engaging. I'll be able to look at your comments too, and I'll be able to see if you have any questions or if there were any particular points that you wanted me to cover that I didn't cover, and then I can cover those later in future Periscopes, right? The retention rate helps identify engagement. What is it called again, Casey? Yeah, so Leslie, it's called Fullscope.tv. Fullscope.tv. It is a marketing and analytics software that allows you to see who your most engaged people are on Periscope. We're going to use it for other live stream applications, but Fullscope.tv right now works with Periscope. So you can see everything about who your most engaged viewers are, which will only help you to be a better broadcaster when you know this information. So I can show you, if you want to see it, what does Periscope think about Fullscope.tv? That's a great question, Jen. So Periscope knows that we've created Fullscope.tv. They've sent emails out to us. And this is the thing, and we're not, Periscope did not create this software. I want to be very open about that. I want you guys to understand that. What they have said to us is they were like, cool, that's awesome. As long as you stay on the good side of Twitter and Periscope, we are all good. But the minute you start scamming, that's where we're going to pull it back. And so what we do, we have to make sure that we are staying on the good side of Twitter. So there was talk of some people want some automated tweets that can go out and things like that. That's all well and good, but we have to make sure that we are sticking to the guidelines that Twitter has created for us, because we don't want to get shut down. And Periscope, as long as we're doing things the right way, we're being responsible with our software, they are all good with it. That's the email that I received. Okay, they were like, great, love to know more, excited to hear about it. That's what it's about. Okay, that's what they've said, right? But the moment we're not responsible, that's when they turn it off. Okay? Do you know do you know that Periscope is better than Meerkat? Yes, that's what I hear. Fullscope.tv, was it that? Yes, Fullscope.tv. You go there, and you can sign up for free and use the software. Now, as Jason pointed out, yes, this will be paid later on, but right now it's all about just we're in beta right now, so we just want to make sure we get everything clear, okay, with features and things like that, and that's why we're really doing that. The minute you start scamming, LOL. Yeah, exactly. I can give you cash for your hearts. Thanks for a great scope. Of course, Fullscope.tv. Who would like me to show you what it looks like? Is anybody interested in seeing this? For those who are still on, I mean, we have 80 people still on here. Who wants to see Fullscope.tv in action? I just jumped on. Okay, cool. You jumped on it with your tablet. Yep. How many people are in Fullscope already who are here? Fullscopers, put your put your hand in the air, or send a heart, or put a me or yes. That's fine. Cool. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Me. Okay, and what I'm going to be doing is a lot of Periscopes are going to be about this. It's going to be about engagement. It's going to be talking about how best what kind of broadcast to create, things like that. And if you want to follow me, you can do so by clicking the little dude that's found the hearts, and you can follow me. And I'm going to be doing updates about Fullscope. This is the best way to do it. So let me go in. I'll do that if you want, right? I think we're at a point. And thank you guys so much for dealing with the fact that I'm like in my tank top. I really sorry about that. Okay, let me see. Where's Fullscope? Going into my computer, pulling this down here. Okay, I'm going to go into Fullscope. Here I am right here. All right. I keep getting Skypes. Okay, here we go. And scoping about it was one of the most interactive. Yeah, that's very cool. Will you be including emojis in the title soon? That's a great question, Jen. Right now, of course, as some of you know, we don't have that, but we are thinking that we might want to do that, or create some sort of algorithm around the emojis that are put in there, because oftentimes emojis can signify certain things, and we have to figure out what that signifies. Since when have you started apologizing for a tank top? That's so funny. Well, I haven't worn one in a while. It's probably because I've been so busy I haven't worked out, but I did run like yesterday, and so I feel a little bit better about wearing a tank top. Okay, so let me go in. Full scope. Here we go. I'm going to flip this around. Okay, here we go.